This video explains how to observe some of the features on the moon with just your eyes. The goal of this lab is to learn about the features of the surface of the moon. Since the moon is tidally locked with Earth, however, we only see the near side. During the Apollo missions, astronauts orbited the far side of the moon and were able to directly observe its surface features. The terminator is the line on the moon that delineates the portion of the moon that is illuminated by the sun from the portion of the moon that is in the moon's own shadow, the dark portion. The limb is the edge of the visible disk of the moon. Earthshine is reflected light from the Earth, originally from the sun and then reflected off the Earth, that's visible on the moon's night side. So sometimes we can see the night side a little bit because of Earthshine. NASA's Galileo spacecraft took this image of Earth-Moon on December 7, 1992 on its way to explore Jupiter in 1995 and 1997. The highlands are the rougher, more cratered parts of the moon. They're lighter in color. The lowlands are smoother parts of the moon and include the Maria. The Maria are the large, dark, smooth regions. We know these formed from volcanism, from lava flowing into already created craters from impactors, and then that lava cooled, forming a dark, very dark basalt. The highlands are made from more of an anorthosite, slightly lighter. However, the moon itself is very non-reflective. The lighter regions are only about 15% reflective, and the darker regions only about 10% to 7%. Ancient observers, though, thought the highlands were dry, and they are, and they call these regions terra, the Latin word for land. The distinct bright red crater at the bottom of the image is the Tycho impact basin. Some naked eye observers also see the crater Copernicus, and perhaps even the crater Kepler. The ancient observers believed the dark regions were oceans and called them mare, the Latin word for seas. We now know that lava flowed and cooled these dark basalt rocks in these regions. Mare Crispium is visible on the waxing crescent moon through the full moon. Mare Serenitatis and Mare Tranquillitatis are visible on the first quarter moon and full moon. And at full moon, Mare Ebrium is also visible. These are regions you should be able to see with your naked eye and part of this activity. Although only the most powerful telescopes and the orbiters can see the details of the Apollo landing sites, it's kind of nice to know roughly where they were landing. The orange numbers are the Apollo landing sites 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17. Apollo's 7 and 9 were flight tests, and Apollo's 8, 10, and 13 orbited the moon. These sites are also regions to look for in binoculars, although the details are too small to see. The Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter has made detailed images of the landing sites showing the tracks, science experiments, and other artifacts that the astronauts left behind. Here's an example of the detail that you can get from the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter satellite that orbits the moon, and it's showing here the Apollo 17 landing site with the experimental setup for the science experiments, the Challenger descent stage. You can see it also enlarged there. It's possible to measure the heights of mountains from images of the moon. So perhaps you could take a photo on your smartphone with looking through the telescope, or maybe you have an image of the moon that you found on the internet. Similar right triangles prove that the ratio of the mountain height to its shadow is equal to the ratio of the shortest distance from the mountain peak to the terminator line to the radius of the moon. The radius of the moon is 1,738 kilometers. The Mare regions identified in blue text and the biggest craters identified by orange text are shown in this wiki images. And this wiki image should be a good one to follow if you're trying to look for a lot of different features on the moon. NASA has a naked eye lunar challenge to find some features on the moon when it is in waxing, first quarter, and full phases. These include the Mare Crisium, Mare Serenitatis, Mare Tranquillitatis, and Mare Ebrium. The website includes additional challenges for eyes aided with binoculars or with small telescopes.